Hey mamas, welcome back to Proverbs 31 Fitness. I am thrilled that you've joined us this week. My name is Dr. Emily, and I am a doctor of physical therapy who specializes in pelvic health and pre and postnatal fitness. But first and foremost, I am a believer, a happy wife, and a mama to 4 under 4. We have actually been in a discussion the last few weeks, so this is the third week in the series, talking about chronic pain, chronic symptoms, chronic struggles to lose weight, that type of situation that so many of us mamas find ourselves in. And looking at it from a biblical lens, looking at it from an evidence-based lens to make sense of why is it that sometimes, despite trying all of the exercises that we see, trying all of the supplements, seeing all of the different providers, that we are just not able to actually make progress with these issues. And how do we break through that plateau with, respect to our faith, but also in a meaningful, clinically effective way? So I'd like to take us first and foremost back to the passage that we've been rooting this discussion in, because again, this is our compass, right? This is how we want to navigate any topic, is to go to the word and see what God has to say about it. So we've been talking about 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. And again, this is a passage where Paul is discussing sexual immorality. He's not talking about fitness specifically, but the principles are still valid, right? Of your body is valuable. The Lord considers it the temple of the Holy Spirit. So it does deserve respect. It does deserve stewardship, but it is also not our own. It is not to become an idol. And so I think that's a beautiful way to navigate this topic, because the world will pull us in extremes of self-worship or self-neglect. And so I think it's just really essential to start there. And that's what we've been doing throughout this series, but just again, to remind ourselves what our orientation is through this topic. So we've talked about some really cool research that has come out talking about how emotions can be stored in our bodies. If you missed week 1, seriously, go back and listen to it. We've talked about how the story that we're telling ourselves about this pain, symptom, weight loss struggle, etc., how that actually affects our ability to heal, which is wild. If you missed that, make sure you hit week 2 of this series. But today, what I'd really like to discuss is how you cannot heal a body that you hate. And I'm going to say that again. You cannot heal a body that you hate. This is one of the brilliant things that my dear friend Natalie Reed said to me that changed everything when I heard it. And if you're anything like me, perhaps quite a bit of your fitness journey, your health journey has been from the stance of, I hate how I look, and so I'm going to XYZ to make myself look better so that I can love myself. I even have found in my own journey a lot of why I have exercised so hard, perhaps eaten less than I should have, things like this, were to try to earn love, to try to look a certain way to where I felt I would be able to earn love more effectively. And that is just not biblical, as we just discussed. That is not how we are supposed to treat a temple, is it? Do we treat a temple as, well, I will love you if you look exactly the way I want you to? Absolutely not. That would be quite the disrespectful way to treat a temple of the Holy Spirit, right? Not to mention, especially as mothers, everything that our bodies have done for these beautiful babies. I think even just from a common sense perspective, they really deserve some serious respect for everything that they have done, that the Lord has done with them. So this week, I really urge you to prayerfully consider, how are we speaking about our bodies externally? What are we saying about our bodies? Are we saying horrible things about how we need to lose weight and we look terrible and, oh, we can't fit into this and blah, blah, blah? Are we saying really awful things? And especially for mothers of daughters out there, I have 3 now myself, just really understanding that the way you speak about your body, you're teaching your daughter how to see her own body. Yikes. And what an opportunity, honestly. What an opportunity to model for her how to steward your body. How to, perhaps you don't love every little detail of how your body looks exactly at this moment, but how to treat that body with respect anyway. How to speak about it with respect. How to say, I'll give an example. So my oldest daughter is 2, and, I'm 6 weeks postpartum as I'm filming this. So, my body is not exactly where I tend to enjoy seeing it. I'll just put it that way. It's a little bit fluffier. It's a little bit wider. It's a little bit looser than I prefer to see it. And I was looking at myself in the mirror. And she walked around the corner, and at 2 years old, she's already asking me, Mommy, what are you doing? And I just had this moment. I have many moments as a mom that I go, that was the wrong thing to say. But this was one of those where it was the Holy Spirit truly saying, be careful what you say. And I said, I'm just looking at my body in the mirror, baby, because I had your sister, Maggie, not long ago, and I'm just admiring how much my body has healed and changed since I had her. And it was like, okay, I want her to see that changes in your body are not a bad thing. They're not a scary thing. They're not a thing we beat ourselves up for. They're not things we ignore. If we need to work on our health, we work on our health. Like, she also is in the gym with me very frequently, doing a little workout with me or playing while I'm working out. Like, she knows that I do care quite a bit about fitness and being healthy. We even talk about eating healthy and why that's important. But just coming at that from a respectful place of not that our bodies are to be punished, not that they have to earn, attention, not that they have to earn food. Like, if you've ever had an eating disorder, like I have, that's a thing of I worked out really hard today, so I got to earn some food. Oh my goodness. We have to be so careful how we speak about our bodies, because that actually has a massive impact on what we can and cannot do health-wise. It's incredible the power that our brains have, and they are very smart. You cannot trick your brain very easily I speak about my body horribly. I'm super negative about it, but I'm eating all the right foods, so it's going to work. Your brain has a lot more power than we give it credit for. So I first want you to really consider what we're saying externally about our bodies, but then even more importantly, what are we saying internally about our bodies? So maybe we bite our tongues and we don't tell our daughter, oh, I'm looking at my big floppy tummy that I hate, or, something horrible. Maybe we bite our tongues and we don't actually say that. But if we're thinking that all the time, if we're always thinking, gosh, I hate being this big, I hate not being able to wear my clothes I used to wear, I'm never going to lose this weight, we're just thinking these super negative, super disrespectful thoughts about our bodies, that has a massive impact too, even if we're not saying it externally, because the brain is a pattern finding machine. So if we're thinking really negative about our body, our brain will find a way to make that true. It'll see the look that your husband gave you and, oh, he thinks I look terrible too. Or that random chick at the gym who looks at you, she thinks I'm too big to be wearing these shorts, or, whatever. Like, your brain will make the negativity you have going on in your brain seem true. It will find every clue that that's true. Whereas if you think positive things about, wow, I have more energy today. Wow, my mood was more regulated. Wow, I was able to lift more weight than usual. Wow, my back hasn't hurt so much today. If we focus on those positive things, then it's amazing. It tends to find those patterns, and you will just get in a really positive spiral instead of a negative spiral. So that's what I urge you to do this week, is to really, really think about how we're speaking and thinking about our bodies. Are we treating them like the temple of the Holy Spirit? Or perhaps not. And maybe that's something that we should think about when we're trying to address these stubborn ailments that we have. I am also very excited to announce that as the Proverbs 31 fitness community, you are the first to be invited to apply if this sounds like something that would be beneficial for you. I am going to be opening in August the Proverbs 31 Fitness Intensive. So this is going to be a private 1-month wellness, strength, and pelvic health intensive experience for mothers. I am only taking 7 moms for this private 1-month intensive because it's really important to me that it be incredibly high quality, that these moms just get the support that they have dreamed of. They are sick of being on wait lists to get in to see a pelvic health PT, that they also have fitness things that they want to work on, that they're a little bit concerned or have questions about nutrition, that they just have a lot of things that they need support with. And so I really want to give them the highest quality care that I can. So I am only taking 7 moms so I can ensure that that is the quality that you will be receiving if that's something that you are interested in. So if this sounds like you, there will be a link down in the description so you can submit your application, and we'll see if that's a good fit for you or not. Again, this will be for August. I will have some in the future, but within August, I only have 7 spots. So if you're interested, or if you have a girlfriend who you think this would be perfect for, send it to her sooner than later, because once the spots are full, they're gone. But if you love your family deeply, you pour into your children, your husband, you manage your home and carry countless other responsibilities every day, but somewhere along the way, your own health has just fallen to the bottom of the list. You know your body needs attention, you know something needs to change, but between motherhood, exhaustion, and endless conflicting advice, you just don't know where to begin. At Proverbs 31 Fitness, we believe caring for your body isn't vanity, it is stewardship. Your body was created by God, entrusted to you for a purpose, designed to support you in the work that He called you to do. This intensive is a private 1-month wellness, strength, and pelvic health experience designed to help mothers rebuild their strength, improve their pelvic health, restore their energy, and establish sustainable habits through personalized guidance from a doctor of physical therapy. Because when a mother is physically equipped to thrive, not just survive, she is better able to actually embrace God's design for motherhood with strength, endurance, and joy. So if anyone is interested in applying for that intensive, I'll have the link down below. If you have any questions about it, I'd love to answer them. I'm very excited. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I finally have the energy and capacity to do it. So if that sounds like you, hop on it, because the spots will be gone quickly. As for our discussion with this chronic pain, chronic symptom discussion, tune in next week, because we have several more weeks to go to talk about some of the things that might be keeping us stuck. And I just cannot wait to support you through that discussion further. I love you. I'm so glad you joined. I cannot wait to see you next week, and God bless.